Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is a show where we talk about the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of HeroClix. All right, this is part 2 of the Avengers Assembled preview, or Avengers Assembled review of the set, and we're just looking at stuff here. So this will wrap things up, so it might be a little bit shorter than normal, might be an hour, I don't know yet. All right, so let's look at Red Wolf. Rookie version of Red Wolf. Yay. Animal keyword. Main reason I bring this up is that, a lot of you all are going to be getting Animal Man. So, a lot of folks are like, what guys are good? So, in the wilds, improved movement, ignores hindering. So that's improved movement. Then he has Lobo, faithful wolf companion. Red Wolf begins the game with Lobo attached. While Lobo is attached, Red Wolf can use Flurry. Give Red Wolf a free action and to remove and place Lobo in an adjacent square. That's not bad. Training a new cub. Give Red Wolf a power action when he has no action tokens and his Lobo has been KO'd. Attach Lobo to Red Wolf's base. So yeah, you get him back. And you score no points for KOing him. Yay, free tie-up with charge, Blaze Claws Fangs, and combat reflexes. Oh gosh, and is standard size so you can carry tiny size people. So yay. I'm about to screw this up. A Wadadada came to me. Red Wolf can use combat reflexes and super senses. If he occupies center terrain, he can use willpower. So that's pretty cool. 80 points for 6 clicks and a pop off, and you can pop them off again. And yeah, that's killer. Like, oh, I charged and Blaze Claws Fangs for 4. If you even got that off once, it was worth it to pop them off. If not, oh, I flurry. Oh, hey, charge, flurry, hit you. Oh, I got super strength. Yay. With flurry. We've gotten charge flurry cheaper with triathlon. So again, not like the highest end, like, ooh, yay, charge flurry. But he has a lot of stuff there to keep him alive. And it's just something to consider. If you also like pair him up with Despadara, then he can be really stupid. Ronan, if you don't know why he's good, you haven't been listening to the podcasts. I mean, here's the thing, people. I'm not going to front. I don't do previews. The main reason I don't do previews is because most people listen to Clicks TV, Clicks Cast, 2 Clicks from KO, Dial H for HeroClix, Married with Clicks, like, you name it. And I've shouted out a whole lot of people here before. I'm probably like the only one that doesn't have Clicks in my name. Yeah, I'm probably one of the few. Like, me and Glass Cabinet Hobbies are probably the only ones that don't have Clicks in our name. But really, you're going to hear the previews talked about 50 bazillion times. You don't need to hear me say, like, oh, yeah, this is good. This is bad. Blah, blah, blah. We already know, they're good or bad from the previews. So, yeah. Ronan's good. The Vet Thor. Wish he could be a little bit better. I wish they can hit him at that 200. But I don't like supporty Thor. I never liked supporty Thor. But that's what they're doing. They're like, hey, guys, I'm a major attacker, but I also have support pieces and powers. No, make my Thor murder better. How about that, WizKids? Just don't give me support powers like empower or enhancement. Just make my Thor murder better. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do, WizKids. All right. Now, I do note that his energy explosion, giving that to other Avengers could be really useful. And also Ragnarok. Yeah, we already know he's dumb. So we really don't even need to go into that. And this is it. Ragnarok is cheap. Okay? Cheap. 200 points. Nice solid damage. Nice solid defenses. Okay defense powers. And he also gets energy explosion, super strength, nice things. Okay, Endial Spike of I hate you. You didn't kill me, so I'm going to murder you. That's what you need. That's what Thor needs to be. Not the, oh, I'm almost dead. High defense so that I might regen and not get murdered. So, White Lantern Power Battery for Thor. Any other resource for Ragnarok. There you go. All right. Let's go. Let's look at Night Mask. This could potentially have some interesting effects. First off is a trait, Energy Discharge. If Night Mask has taken damage since your last turn, modify his combat values by +1. Considering that the damage value, modify his combat values by +1. Considering that his stats are really meh, I think he's built around taking a hit. Techno Communication. Night Mask can use mind control. When he does, he doesn't need line of fire when targeting opposing characters. With the armor, robot, or vehicle keyword, hit targets with these keywords modify their combat values by +1 during the free action granted by mind control. That I don't really like so much, because you're taking away my little bonus. Energy portals, because we have to. Give Night Mask a power action and choose an unoccupied square within 6 squares. If that square is blocking terrain, that terrain is destroyed. Place Night Mask in the chosen square, and he may make a close combat attack as a free action. So that's pretty cool. He can bamf over and hit you. So that's not bad, but it's pretty much a 12 move charge, and if you're able to get your stats up, it's like a 12 move charge, which standard charge, which you would get 6 range, 6 movement, and then if you're bamfed up, you can actually make that a 7 movement and then a 10 attack and 4 damage. So that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. All right, now Miss Marvel doesn't have a point value, so I'm going to hold my critique. I'm going to hold my critique on her completely, so I don't know if she's going to be worth it or not. If she comes in under 100 points, she's going to be worth it. If she's over 100 points, she's not going to be worth it. If she's in the 90s, it's very debatable. If she's below 80 or lower, she's definitely worth it. First, you have Embiggen. I never really liked that word. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose to be giant in super strength or tiny in stealth, or have colossal and close combat expert. Colossal and close combat expert is pretty boss, and I'll explain that to you in a bit. Ms. Marvel has the chosen combat symbol and can use the power. Can use the chosen power until your next turn. Now, here's why this is awesome. You have Giant Man, and he's about to die. Or Goliath, actually Goliath. You have Goliath. He's about to die. He is a giant. Oh, guess what? I am biggin to turn into a colossal, and I'll just carry him away with Miss Marvel. Oh, I need to get into the fray. Tiny size, and I'm stealth. I can become a stealth wall. Oh, you're just 1 square outside of my reach for my charge? Oh, I'm just going to turn to a giant size, so I got giant reach. Kabow. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility there that's awesome. But it's flexibility for you to get in and out of combat. Also, another thing with the Colossal is you can use Miss Marvel to block for your giants. So that's pretty cool. Polymorph. Miss Marvel can use shape change. When she does, on a result of 6, you may heal her 2 clicks. This is nice because it allows you to potentially just like stay alive the entire time. So I give them credit on that. Do I like it? No, not really. But it's not bad. So again, we'll see. If she's under 100 points, really if she's under 80 points, she's a definitely must buy, must play. Ex Nihilo. I've had to meditate on this one, and I know everybody's talked about this to death. I've really had to meditate on this one because I actually think that there's potential there. Is it game-breaking potential? No. I think the issue is chlorokinesis with the origin bomb. There's something there. And then also, people will stumble over this. It's ex nihilo. It's out of nothing. That's the Latin. And the main reason that I know this is in Christianity, it says Yahweh creates out of ex nihilo, out of nothing. So it's that's why I know that term. Which is also, if you look at ex nihilo, he has a lot of interesting references just in the character itself. You have a garden character. You see, there's automatically a Genesis reference. Then he has the Omega symbol on his chest, and then he goes pagan with the bull horns, similar to the bull idols of what was it, Bashem and Baal and Asheroth. So just a little 2 cents in there that might have been dropped. But yeah, it's ex nihilo, not ex nihilo. It's ex nihilo. I'm not hating on anybody either, but I just noticed that a couple people were stumbling over how to say that. All right, keep going, because Korvac sucks and Mortis sucks and the Hood sucks, and I know some people are like, the Hood, stop clicks, mystics, and it's like, in a meta full of Pulse Wave. I mean, Pulse Wave doesn't go away. Pulse Wave really hasn't left the meta since Infinity Gauntlet. And they're not letting up on Pulse Wave. And then you have the ability to give more characters Pulse Wave with entities. Pulse Wave is in the meta. This guy isn't as awesome. Anyway. I don't know why they made Red Skull 200 points. At best, he's 150. I'm going to talk about him real quick. But the Brain, he has improved targeting Norse characters, which is fine. Mindstorm, that's the thing. The Brain of the world's greatest telepath. Red Skull can use mind control. When he does, he isn't dealt damage from it after action is resolved. Place an action token on hit character. 11 attack, 10 attack, 11 attack, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8. That's not great values for mind control. I mean, if at 200 points, no, it's not. You might say, but Dark Logos, Brother Voodoo only gets to do it, and Brother Voodoo is hella cheap. This is 200 points. That's a problem. Okay. Schattenjäger. It sounds like pooping tiger or something. Red Skull can use running shot and stealth. Yay, you get to running shot with your mind control. Because your damage values are sort of crappy again for 200 points. I can play Ragnarok and murder you. Defensive power. You have missed your one chance. Red Skull can use combat reflexes, mastermind, and toughness. Again, this is not as great because we have precision strike out the wazoo in the meta. So this is bad. Mastermind is not what it used to be. Mastermind needs another effect to make it good. Toughness, oh yay. I take one less damage when guys are hitting me for 5 and 4. Ooh, yay. Doesn't help you. This power can't be countered. Damage power. Unite them with hatred. Red Skull can use leadership when he does and succeeds. Choose a keyword. Opposing characters with the chosen keyword modify their defense values by -1 to your next turn. Doesn't really help you. Really doesn't help you that much. So really, if we look at the chases, the super rares, we're really only looking at one that's good. And it's a prime. Yeah, it's one that's, two. Take that back. 2. Ronin and Ragnarok. And then you can sort of look at Red Wolf. But that's really if you're really going to use him immediately. Don't Iron Man, no. Just no. No. Just put him down. All right, and I'll give a 2.5 for Miss Marvel because that has potential. All right, let's look at the chases where people are going to drop like their jaws and their wallet for a lot of okay. Steve Rogers as Nova, which at first you're like, this is going to be broken, and then you're like, no, it's not broken, because he comes in at 9 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 clicks, no stop click, 250 points. His 200 point dial starts on click 3, which still it's not worth it. You're getting running shot, pulse wave, sharpshooter, flight, indomitable. He gets a trait Nova Corp helmet. Each turn, one friendly character. Sorry, Nova helmet targeting assist. Each turn, one friendly character with Avengers keyword and another friendly character with the Nova Corps keyword. So they're trying to give you an incentive to play him with Nova. Can use precision strike, but only when targeting a single character, which is like no. I'm pretty good with bank shots. When Steve Rogers targets a single opposing character with a ranged combat attack and hits, after action resolve, he may make a second ranged combat attack against a different character. When he does, he draws lines of fire and counts range from the first hit character square. Now, you also got to think about this. He's 250 points. You're doing this bank shot thing. If you're paying 250 points, you're getting that on click 2. You're getting that on click 2. Okay. So you have to push to guarantee that you can get that. And then on top of that, you have to get some enhancement or some other love, because pretty much the part that sucks is that that second attack is only going to do 3 damage. So unless you're doing like Psychic Blast or something awesome, it's not going to be that great. Now, if he, and this is what I will give it to, if you team him up with Thor, he'll have Energy Explosion. So yes, that could become stupid strong. But at the same time, you're playing a really high point game at that point, because Thor is over 200 points and this Cap's over 200 points. So yeah, there's problems. Okay. He has a defensive power, special power called the Power of the Nova Force. Steve Rogers can use Energy Shield Deflection and Invincible. This power can't be countered. And again, not too impressed. I have a 20 defense from range. Yay. I mean, we're used to hitting 20 Ds in this meta, so not that impressed. The main thing I really got to be honest is that you're paying for something that we haven't paid for in a while. And I'm going to give some inset wrap-ups here in a bit. But we're getting more life, less stats, where before we got less life, more stats. So this is the trade-off that we're getting now. Next up is Iron Man. I don't know which Iron Man this is. I really want to know. I really want to see a picture of it too, because that would be awesome. Because that Iron Man would probably be... I don't know what storyline that would be from. I really would want to know which storyline they picked him from. Anyway, he gets ultra dense alloys. When Iron Man would be dealt damage, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled. On a result of 1, he can use invulnerability. On a result of 2, he can use invincible. On a result of 3 through 4, damage dealt is reduced by 3. That's sort of nice. On a result of 5 through 6, damage dealt is ignored. So the thing that sucks is that if you get pulse waved, you can't use your trait. They should have just said this trait can't be ignored, and then it would have been something. Like it actually would have been straight murder, and it would have been worth 270 points. I'm not kidding you. If he could have ignored pulse wave and just use this ability, because it just goes off whenever he would be dealt damage, so that it doesn't matter what source, that would have made him awesome. But unfortunately, no. Next is Laser Replicate. Give Iron Man a ranged combat action with his damage value locked until actions resolve. So that's not bad, but my damage value is locked at 3. After action, sorry. After the range combat attack resolves, Iron Man may make a range combat attack as a free action. So I get to do 2 attacks, but if there's a Green Lantern power battery, I might get screwed, depending on what I did earlier and what other resources I have. Now, I do think he would be awesome for summoning in other Avengers, but that's just my thoughts. Magnetic concussion. Iron Man can use the Force Blast and Pulse Wave, which would be great if he could running shot, but he can't. Then damage power. Give me all the cameras. Iron Man can use Outwit and improve target, ignore, destroy blocking characters. Yeah, so he can outwit through blocking terrain like Cyclops. So yay. King Thor. Everybody wants him. There's so many bad jokes to be made about this Thor. There's just so many bad jokes to be made. But primarily, he's going to be really strong. People are going to be like, the Thor is broken. Oh my gosh, I want the Thor. He can be contained. You know, like, hello Incap, hello my poison, you know, hello my surround by barrier gal. Like, he can be contained. He's not unstoppable. I just think that a lot of folks are like, oh my gosh, the numbers, did you see what he can do? And it's like, he has a hammer and he has a sword. He's awesome. It's like, okay. So, yeah. Next up is Hulk. Again, you got overshadowed by the movie version. That second click, though, is sick. Charge, 13 attack, 18 defense, and perf, and 6 damage. Yeah. Thank you. I'll take that. Anyway, let's go. The last Titan, Hulk can use super strength, and his powers can't be countered. So that's nice. You can't be outwitted, unlike other Hulks. Hulk begins this game with a Titan token on his card once per turn. When Hulk damages an opposing character with an attack, place a Titan token on this card. Hulk hates World. Hulk uses charge. When he does not have his speed value and can use improved movement, ignores, hindering, and destroys blocking and characters. Well, here's the thing. If he's a giant, he gets that already. So that's dumb. Okay, everybody just look at your player's guide. And this is one of those facts of like, this is how you don't design a dial. When you give a character giant size, they get the ability, they get improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, ignores blocking terrain, destroys blocking, ignores elevated, period. Now, if you want to say ignores characters, that's an added bonus, yes. But the rest of this just inflated his cost. So he should be 300, then down to 275, and then 125. Like, just being honest. Okay. Then you have the special defense power at the end. Only one there is. Hulk. That's sad. Hulk can use invulnerability. And if he has no action tokens, regeneration. When this click is revealed, stop turning the dial and remove a Titan token from the card. Whenever Hulk would take damage, remove a Titan token from this card instead. Hulk can't place additional Titan tokens on this card. This power can't be ignored. So, pretty much, you can just punch some more. And if you don't get murdered, you can stack up these Titan tokens until God knows when. And and just say, I don't take damage. I just don't take damage. and and just continue to murder people, which is really nice. And I can actually see how this is useful. At the other end of it, I would never pay 325 or even 150 for that Hulk. I just wouldn't. Now, I don't know how this would work with the round table, but that one at 150, this might be killer, but I don't know. Black Widow, Avengers, team ability, 7 range. She has Thor's hammer, running shot, energy explosion, invulnerability, range combat expert. 200 points. It's not bad. 11 attack. Dark clouds and dirty tricks. Black Widow can use stealth. Yay, perma-stealth. Give Black Widow a free action. Place 2 Henry terrain markers on in her. It should be in her square and another within range and line of fire. These markers remain on the map until she uses this ability and places markers again. So she has stealth, and then she just gets to put her entering terrain markers wherever she wants. And it's like, I get to do this. We're the sacrifice. We will save the rest of the universe. Black Widow can use combat reflexes and toughness. Wow, to save the universe. Whenever another friendly character is KO'd by an opposing character, you may heal Black Widow of 2 clicks. Now, she could get back really, really nice into her dial, but unfortunately, you're on Force Blast. That's the sad part. You're just on Force Blast. Hammers. That's all I can say. Hammers. And then this dial, this doesn't suck as bad. Next up is Clint Barton as Goliath. Now, this is probably the best chase of them all. Back to blonde-haired, bow-swinging named Hawkeye. Give Goliath a free action and replace him with any character of equal or less value. Less points, name Hawkeye on the same click number, -3, minimum 1. Oh, I've been fighting as Goliath, getting my team in there. Oh, I got knocked down. To click number 4. Oh, let me change into Hawkeye and heal on up. And it's like, oh, I'm on click 3. Okay, I'm back at 1. I'm on click 5. Oh, I'm on click 2 as Hawkeye. I'm still pretty boss. So it's like there's no bad sign. There's nothing bad about this. Then you get growing larger. Goliath can use Quake. When he makes a close combat attack, all squares within 4 squares in line of fire are considered adjacent. So this is nice. Because you can Quake bomb the fire out of people on clicks too. So again, hammer drops. Then you have ground squash. Characters hit by Goliath's attacks can't automatically break away and modify their attack rolls by -1. Their breakaway rolls by -1. So yeah, he's really, really awesome for just locking people down. If you can get a plasticity hammer on him, or just get him plasticity, period, they're not going anywhere. Like, they can't roll high enough. They just can't get away. You just keep pounding it. And then somewhere there's a D-man joke, but I'm not going there. All right. Next up, this is out of all of the ones that are the most fun. Rick Jones. I'm Rick Jones. And if you don't get that reference, then that's fine. You're probably a little too young to get that joke. I'm Rick Jones. Anyway, 10 range, 3 targets, 75 points. If there's anybody that needs energy explosion, it's him. First off, he gets to trade. Summon the heroes I grew up reading about. At the beginning of the game, place a Captain America bystander token, as included with the card, adjacent to Rick Jones. When a bystander token placed by Rick Jones is KO'd, Place a bystander token included with this card adjacent to Rick Jones as per the following. This ability can't be ignored. Captain America then to Namor, Namor into Blazing Skull into Captain America. So you have these three characters. Now, let me go into the other abilities, and then we'll go into those pogs. Galactic Burst of Immobilizing Light. Once per game when Rick Jones isn't on his first click, give Rick Jones a double power action when he is adjacent to an opposing character. Give all opposing characters on the map an action token. For each opposing character you can't give a token, deal that character one unavoidable damage. Hey, Dupe, Gluttony, flash a light, jazz hands, summon the awesome guys, because it's the 70s. Take one unavoidable damage. Yeah, I'm Rick Jones. So yeah, it's pretty silly. Then damage, attack power. The blast came from my mind. Again, there's a D-Man joke in there somewhere. Rick Jones can use penetrating psychic blast and telekinesis. So yeah, if you're able to give him energy explosion, he becomes stupid. But oh my gosh, let's look at the pogs. Okay, you get Captain America. Captain America has sidestep, precision strike, and willpower, and 2 damage. And he's free. He's free 99. Oh, I have permanent mastermind fodder. Yay. Then you have Namor, who has charge, super strength, and 2 damage. Oh, I can... If Cap couldn't precision strike you for enough damage and then die, I can... I'm sorry. This is just bad. I can now throw Namor at you, and he can charge, pick up a heavy, and hit you for 4 with his 10 attack. And then there's Blazing Skull, who can use Quake and combat reflexes and exploit weakness, because of course it's not bad enough that I just hit you. I had to make sure the 2 damage goes through. So overall, this Rick Jones and probably the Odin King Thor is I was gonna say Odin Force, but it's not. But it's Thor Force. Thor is probably the best ones overall. ID cards, we don't know what the ID cards do. And the big ones right now that I really need to know, just looking through the set: Hawkeye, Black Widow, Ronin, Sandman. I think Sandman gave +1 defense. Someone said somewhere. Jarvis and Rick Jones. And then just saying that, here's some other problems. We know automatically right now, just because there's an ID card, Rick Jones is probably going to be like $75. Definitely considering we're going into world championships. So if you pull a Rick Jones, good for you. Keep that guy. Jarvis, if we are able to get the Avengers Roundtable before Origins, then Jarvis is probably going to be hella strong, and he's probably going to go up in cost. So you're going to probably be paying $5 or $6 for Jarvis, which is not bad. It's not a big hit in the pocket, but still. Sandman, his little power can be a little OP. So I don't know how his timings work out. So he might get around some stuff. Falcon, questionable. Justice actually might be a big deal, because he has the ability to come in and do 2 damage to Dupe if he hits. So that could be huge, and also potentially 2 damage to Gluttony. So that could be huge. Nova, he sucks major. So I don't see many people summoning him in. So yeah. Overall, my thoughts on this set, and I'm hard on sets, mainly because I look at it as I want to make sure everyone gets the best figures for their money. The one thing that I have noticed in this set so far is that we are getting more clicks of life in characters than we have had in a long time. Now, the trade-off is that the stats aren't as great. I mean, really, the stats aren't as good. But you're getting some very, very interesting combinations that allow for either I'm a short dial and you can't target me frequently, or I'm a long dial and I understand that I'm inside of a meta with modifiers through resources and entities and other effects. So I am going to have my effects modified through other means. Once you start looking at the set that way, it's quite interesting. Another thing that I've sort of noticed as I'm sort of scrolling back through the set, we are getting long dials, lots of powers, which means more cost, but it also means less, like the more powers you have, the more cost you have. Whereas before, we've gotten some sporadic powers here and there, a lot of, empty spaces, short dials, but allow for some cheap cost. Or we had moderate dial length dials with fewer powers. In this set, just about every figure has majority of their dials with 2 or more powers showing. And again, I'm just scrolling back through. And even all the way down to the commons, you're looking at characters with 3 and 4 powers per click. And that's really impressive for utility, because again, these are things that you don't have to tack on. But unfortunately, the problem is that tack on ability is far cheaper than to have it based on the character itself. So there's that. Also, another thing to note is we're not seeing stuff fall off. We're really not. And even some of the up and down spikes on some characters is really cool. But how can I put it? They're really cool, but the problem comes in is you're going up 1, going down 1, staying the same, and then going down 1, which means that if you get an 11 attack on your dial, the lowest that you're going to hit is a 9 on average, depending on how long your dial is. So that's very interesting. So like, let's take Echo for example. 10 attack, 10, 10, 9, 10, 10, 9. Boom, there you go. Firebrand, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 10. So you get an upswing on your last click, but you don't go below 9. Let me go to some uncommons. Falcon, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. Bam. Kate Bishop, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. Vale, 9, 10, 10, 9, 9. D-Man, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9. Forgotten One, I think is one of the few 12s in this entire set. 12, 11, 11, 11. Note the consistency. 10, 11, back up. 10, 10, 9. So this is the widest swing, but again, in attack values, but again, you're looking at is a very, very stable attack value. You're very consistent. So if we even look at defensive values, the defensive values aren't varying widely. Let's look at Silverclaw. 17, 16, 16, 16, 16, 15. Wow. Smasher, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. What do you say? Spider-Woman, 17, 17, 17, 17, 16, 16. Like, you're just looking at the characters and the stats aren't wild. Here's I'm going to do something real quick, and I normally don't mix in another set, but let's look at Justice League Trinity War, just to try to make some look at this trend. So we have Black Orchid, 10 for attack, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9. Defense, 17, 16, 17, 16, 16. Let's go to Aquaman. Maybe not Aquaman, because he's 3 clicks deep. Let's look at Firestorm. 10, 11, 10, 11, 9, 9, 8. So we see some fall off. Then defense, 17, 18, 17, 17, 17, 16, 16. So we don't see a big differential in defensive values overall. Let's go to Superwoman, 18, 17, 17, 17, 17, 16, 16. Yeah, so we're starting to see this redesign with WizKids. Let's look at a character that more people consider a powerhouse. Let's look at Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is a 11, a 12, 10, 10, 10, 10. So you see a spike and then a fall off. But overall, if you average it out, it's about the same for the attack. The defense is 18, 17, 17. 18 spike up, 18, 17. So that's sort of weird. He doesn't fall into the normal pattern. So I can see that this is pretty much WizKids trying to rebalance the game. They're trying to, I wouldn't say slow it down, because you really can't slow it down at this stage. What they're trying to do is they're trying to tone down the damage values. You can still do a lot of damage, but they're finally doing what I said they need to do for a while. If you do 4 or more damage, you need to be 150 points and up. And that's what they're doing. They're starting to do a little bit more. If you definitely look back through this set, if you're looking at your starting 4 damage, you're paying for it like you should. Starbrand, 150 points. Cersei, 195. Let's see who else starts off with 4. I'm sort of down the lane. Black Swan, 130 points. You're close, but you also have that dumb incursion thing built into you. But you sort of see what I'm saying. Iron Man is 5 damage, and he's in that 200 point range. So they're fixing some things. So while I might say like Thor sucks, Ragnarok is awesome, but it's balanced, because Thor, I'm paying 228 points for a pulse wave in 5 damage. Before, that could one shot many old, I would say, year and a half old figs almost. Now, and definitely with a meta that we have now where you're able to just put on a crossbow, he definitely could one-shot a lot of figures if they don't have damage reduction. So that creates this interesting dynamic where, I'm going to say this, I wouldn't say one man army, tent poles are more viable because of this. But at the same time, the balancing mechanism that's being established is yes, you can have this tent pole. Yes, they can do really stupid strong damage. But, and I do mean this, but you're not able to take a character out of the game completely. You're able to affect them, you're able to weaken them, but you're not able to take them out the game completely, which was a chronic problem at the beginning of HeroClix, and even going up through some of all the way up to collateral damage. I would say that was a huge problem. And so now we're not getting this U dial either, where it's like hit the character really hard, knock them to the point where they're crappy, kill them before they rebound either. So the problem now is this. Consistency means that it's a little bit more mediocre stats, less spikes, less top dial dependency. So now the question comes in is, how big is support again? Because you have deeper dials. The characters can survive. So is a medic back in the meta again? Regen becomes a lot more powerful. The nurse really does. With damage values and attack values being a little bit lower, powers such as, team abilities like PD, Hydra, Shield, they become a lot better. Support powers like Enhance and Empower become a lot more needed. Finding, Maximus doesn't go away from the meta because he's able to summon free empower. So there is a lot of stuff for us to really think about how we're going to proceed. Also, Outwit becomes more valuable. There's more powers. There's more selections. There's always something to take away. Perplex becomes crucial for both sides to lower stats. Because again, if Thor on his first click gets Perplex down to an 11, his chances of hitting most of the stuff in the meta right now drop significantly. Definitely if you're dealing with a defend chain with Despadara or even 25-point Atomica. What do you do? Okay, I have 11 on a 19, 11 on an 18. Okay, you have some problems. Even 11 on a 20. and you haven't even factored in the fact it factored in, energy shield deflection or combat reflexes or anything like that. Or now Thor has a 13 attack on a 20, so that's a 50-50 odds. It comes back. We're also seeing invincible on click one and impervious afterward. So you're getting more out of your dial in terms of length. So there's some really, really, really good stuff that the design team is coming out of. And I might even, you'll hear me, of course, I poo-pooed all over this set. Be like, blah, 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 this is bad, this is awesome, this is bad, but a lot of this is bad. And I didn't upvote most of the set. But if we go all the way back, to Triathlon. Okay. Simple. 60 points, 9 movement, charge flurry, 11 attack, toughness, 3 damage. 2 powers on most of his dial. He is 6 clicks deep. Ask yourself, when's the last time that you got a 60 point, 6 clicks deep figure that also had any manner of offense whatsoever? We haven't. We haven't in a long while. Like, he is beyond like a very good secondary attacker. He can be a basis of building a team around. Another sort of one that I sort of again skipped over, poo-pooed on, Hellcat. Mystic's team ability, super senses, charge, Blaze Claw's Fangs, 2 damage. Jason opposing characters can't use shape change. So you're a little bit deeper. You're 6 clicks. You're able to take it, take a solid hit. Like, she can take a hit from Thor. An unmodified hit from Thor. She'll be on stealth and shape change, but she can take an unmodified hit from Thor and still play. You can roll regen, and then the max you're going to do is get to your 2nd click, and you can still play. So I think what's going to end up happening is this. A lot of people are going to hate a lot of elements of the set, but I think WizKids is doing the right thing. I think the main problem comes down is that you still have War of Light, and War of Light gave us a ton of front-loaded damage. You also have some elements in the Deadpool set, and then truthfully, the 2 biggest Goliaths sitting in the meta right now are Slosh and Invincible Iron Man. And let's really look at that. Let's be honest about that. A lot of our meta in the last year and a half has focused on Slosh and Invincible Iron Man. Let's own that. Okay, it hasn't been Batman Arkham Origins, or Thor in the Dark World, or Batman TV. It's really been between Slosh and Invincible Iron Man. And so, what does that mean? It means that WizKids is doing course correction. So, in the midst of their course correction, the Flash is part of that course correction. Guardians of the Galaxy is a little bit of the course correction. There are some mistakes in Justice League Trinity War. I will fully admit that. Gluttony is one of them. But there's also a lot of other elements in there as well. So I gotta give them up for this one. It's not bad. I just think that now we're just looking at which direction is the meta going. That's my question. Are we looking for actual engagements, actual slug outs, creating situations where our opponents have penalties for engaging us in the wrong way? What are we looking at? So that's it. I'm happy. I think I felt like this during a Amazing Spider-Man. I really felt like this during Amazing Spider-Man. And then Team Basis came along and effed it all up. I won't lie. As long as WizKids doesn't do stupid stuff like Teen Titans and Wolverine and the X-Men, we might see this second sort of fresh breath that the meta needs and that HeroClix needs. If not, we have major problems coming. Because what happens is that we bought into a very dud set for them to come back later for approved play and say, hey guys, here's this set that you're spending all this money on to try to collect, and it's a limited edition set, and oh yeah, just to make sure that you buy, here's 15 broke pieces that will ruin your experience with the Avengers Assembled set. If they do that, then I would say definitely, right into WizKids and let them know, like, yo, this is where you drop the boat. This is where you put the hole in the boat and you just start to sink it. Because I understand you have to get people out, but this is actually a move in the right direction. And creating another set like War of Light is a moving in the bad direction. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I didn't see any of the ID cards, so maybe next show we'll get all the information for the ID cards. You can follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me I have stayed up way too late and I got to go to work tomorrow. You can find out my random musings there. Also, you can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Tell me what you think about this set. If you want to hire me to do any sort of coaching for you, let me know and email me. Also, you can pay for the coaching through the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. And on the blog, you will see all of the buy list or any other things that need to be talked about that I have to type up, which it hasn't been for a while. So, yay. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening. I know I'm probably either your first guy in your podcast rounds or the last guy, considering, when I post normally on Friday. But I really do appreciate you all listening, and give me your feedback on what you think. I have noticed a lot of good things coming about from having a lot more podcasts that talk about HeroClix out there. I've also noticed some bad things. You can almost tell who listened to who ahead of time, and sometimes we echo chamber ourselves. So we're not at critical mass yet, where there's like too many, HeroClix podcasts, but we're right at that point where I think everybody should just take a moment and start trying to up their game and getting a little nuance. Again, I'm not calling anybody out, and a lot of shows are new, so they're still getting their groove and they're still taking time to find out who they are as a show and what the audience is looking for. I mean, heck, Clicks TV keeps adding a new segment every time I listen, so soon it'll be like a 3-hour commentary. But as soon as we sort of come a little bit further, I think once we start getting that diversity of opinion, then we can start seeing some stuff really come in. Not so much of us nitpicking each other, but us being able to say, all right, Clicks TV and Generation Clicks supports this piece. I don't support this piece. Here's why. This is their argument. These are the things that I see. This is what they see. This is how you, the listener, can sort it out and determine what's relevant for you in the meta that you're in. So there's a lot of things that I look at, and I look at it in a term of a global meta, whereas some other people will look at it in terms of maybe a more localized meta or even a more moderate meta than I look at. Dial H recently has been more like that. It's a more localized, more moderate meta. And that's fine. Because again, if folks don't have the stuff to play a global meta, then you don't. And then not everybody's following it. So if you bust something out that has 15 counters to things that you'll never see, you've overpaid. So again, like I said, getting that diversity of opinion right now is essential for the HeroClix community to go forward and just have positive interactions. And some things, yeah, they're just going to be universally accepted. Like, oh my gosh, Jarvis is broken. There you go. All right. Thank you for listening. Again, if you haven't listened to part 1, please do. Yeah, definitely please do, because I have noticed that whenever I do this, everyone listens to the second one, and like 2/3 of the people listen to the first one. So, yeah. Anyway, so thanks for listening, and remember, we all have to start over sometime.